Welcome to the December 2023 Star Wars Canon Update. Also, Happy New Year! Last month we got 12 new comic issues, so let's dive in. Let's begin with Star Wars Revelations, which offered up teases for the future of Star Wars comics in 2024. We met the lawyer who will be defending Lando Calrissian in the coming issues of the flagship title. A new ruthless bounty hunter told an over-the-top story and prepared to hunt for Aphra. We saw Jango Fett hunting for a priceless statue called the Hope of Glen Selm, while Aurra Sing and maybe Zam Wesell followed him. Mace Windu infiltrated a prison to stop a bunch of criminals from escaping. Darth Vader planned to hunt down some powerful rebel cyborgs to make them tools for the Empire. Keeve Trennis found a little bit of hope fighting the Nile near the Occlusion Zone. And we met Rick Duel, a bumbling servant of Jabba's whose story I liked a lot so far. But I think the Aphra tale was most interesting. It sounds like setup for a large arc, but this run of Aphra only has one more issue to go, so this could be evidence the series will reboot maybe after the events of Return of the Jedi. Getting into the High Republic, Shadows of Starlight issue 3 caught us up on Bell and Burry's story in between phases 1 and 3. It works very well with Bell's story in Tales of Light and Life, and even connects back to Jedi Brave in Every Way, the children's book Charles Soule wrote with his daughter. Just about everything in this story could be gleaned from reading The Eye of Darkness, but the best part was seeing the capture of Grandmaster Pratri Veeder, who certainly didn't go down without a fight, using a martial art named for a Legends character, which was fun. The High Republic issue 2 continued Keeve's fight with the Nile and the Hutt cartel, but she was able to turn the tide by once again forging a tenuous alliance with the Hutts. The Nile were routed, and a child of the Storm was captured, who then said they had a prior fight with Skier, who I guess is somehow still alive and fighting in the Occlusion Zone. The High Republic Adventures issue 1 set up some very interesting mysteries by giving us some answers to Phase 1 questions. Mainly, did Lula Talisola survive the fall of Starlight Beacon, and what has she been up to for the past year? We catch up with Zine and Cord along with their new droid friend 5AG3, who is obsessed with the concept of mechanical death as they continue to grieve for their supposedly fallen comrades. But a strange message leads Zine to Lula, who is now wearing some crazy armor and might be part of the Nile or something? I'm not sure what's going on, but their reunion was wonderful to see, and I'm relieved it won't be dragged out. Hopping into the Dark Droids comics, the fourth and final issue of D-Squad basically just caught us up to what we already knew back from Dark Droids issue 4. R2-D2 and his crew find the coordinates to Ajax Sigma so they can rally him for a second fight. This series was just alright to me, a little too silly and over the top for my taste, but it is meant to be a straight-up comedy. Dark Droids issue 5 brought the crossover event to a close. As the Scourge learns how to enter organic mines, Ajax Sigma and D-Squad board its flagship and destroy it, or at least temporarily deactivate it and its connection to the rest of the droids under its control. But Ajax holds onto the consciousness for himself, potentially to be used in the future, which seems like a door that could be opened but doesn't necessarily have to be. In Star Wars issue 41, we also see the Scourge threat suddenly ending, meaning Lando can focus on trying to heal Lobot. But to do that, he's forced to confess to his betrayal of the rebellion, which leads to his arrest, and we'll be seeing his trial coming up. This came out before Dark Droids 5, so it felt a little anticlimactic as far as the Scourge goes. I wish this issue had come out later, but the heart of these issues of the main Star Wars series have always been about Lando and Lobot, and I'm glad to see some big things happening in Lando's story. Bounty Hunters issue 41 wrapped up the Dark Droids part of that story and finally reinstalled Valance's memories, or at least his memories up until the point of the War of the Bounty Hunters, which ended over 2 years ago. Now Valance wants his friend's help for one final mission, helping break Han Solo out of Jabba's palace. I'm excited to see how he plays a part in the Return of the Jedi. The next issue will be the final issue of the series. Dr. Aphra issue 39 saw Aphra and Sana rescue Domina Tag from the Scourge, but it seems like the Dark Droids event isn't quite over in that series. Domina might have become compromised before the Scourge died, I'm not sure, but Aphra selflessly sacrificed herself to destroy the Tag flagship so the droids couldn't take it. I mean, she probably didn't. There's one issue to go in this series. I'm sure she found a way out of certain death, but she did do something dangerous to save the galaxy, and that's character growth. Darth Vader issue 41 saw Vader struggling to control the power of the Scourge that he infected himself with. He at least succeeded in not being overtaken by the droid virus and fended off some attackers, but not much else changed for him. His actions caught the attention of Sly Moore, who is apparently creating her own little empire called the Schism Imperial. This issue was a lot. Very over the top. I'm kinda hoping it's heading toward a conclusion. Hyperspace Stories issue 12 was maybe the final chapter of this story following the stuffed Wookiee doll. It's dropped by one of its owners that I think we've met before, and the mission to return it to the child gives a soldier hope and purpose throughout the rest of the Galactic Civil War. If this was the last issue about this toy, I enjoyed the arc overall. The Mandalorian Season 2, Issue 7 covered the episode The Believer and didn't add anything new to the story, but it was fun to revisit one of my favorite episodes of the series. For Story of the Month, I'll go with The High Republic Issue 2. I'm excited by where that story is headed with Skier having gone off the deep end. But that's it for December and 2023. In January, we're getting 10 comic issues and the High Republic book Escape from Valo. This month, we'll see the final issues of The Mandalorian Season 2, Shadows of Starlight, Bounty Hunters, and Dr. Aphra. The Canon update will return in early February to cover all those new stories. Until then, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on our socials, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.